Lynn Rene MacDonald. It's Wednesday again. So here we are for our live talk forum from the Institute, coming to you live from the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. Tonight, it's early yet, so we don't have anybody really here in our studio audience yet, just like on the internet. Hopefully you people will be coming and strolling in. It's Jennifer, my associate, and Rachel here tonight. We have lots of cool stuff to talk about. And I'm just going to quick write this down for us. This show is a live talk forum. It's all about higher knowing, learning about love, working with love or higher knowing, God, universe, to live your greatest life here in this dimension, in Earth world, and in all ways and in all that you are. So this is a live talk forum to talk about anything and everything that is, or that is literally. All right. So tonight, I was just jotting down. We're a little bit late tonight. I see somebody up there. Hey. Thanks for coming. I think it's Debbie Akers. All right. I see Ray up there. Okay. So for right now, I'm just going to quick jot down a little notes here, and now people are starting to pop up. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. And as you guys know, our show is on donation. Thank you everybody who donates in any way that you do. You donate from your heart if you can. You donate monetarily, or you donate through sharing what we do, or through patronizing our shop and center, or however you feel in your heart is the best way to do things from love, okay? But you feel it in your heart, and that's how you donate. So I just want to say thank you. That's what the show is about, coming from love, okay? This said, I just have a bunch of things that we're going to talk about. I'm just going to write them on here as I talk to you guys. All right, we have questions probably from last week still that my associates are working on getting up, so we can answer those, as well as there'll be new questions that you guys have here for tonight. So think about your questions. We'll get going on that too. And we're going to talk about, let's see, there was a couple things that we wanted to talk about. One is an energy session we're going to do this week, which is going to be tomorrow night from 7 p.m. to 8:30. Now, you can call in for this. This is a really cool event, super big. We haven't done one of these in a long-ass time here at the shopping center, and in these times, I've been guided to do this. It's $100, I believe, for the session, normally a $300 session, so this is a really great deal. It's going to run to the regular time that these things run is about an hour and a half. And the reason I'm telling you is because it's a great opportunity to really bang out all these disconnects and anywhere in in our lives where we're not connected in our soul, any of the deepest, darkest stuff, like the plutonic stuff that we have going on in our souls. It's a great way to call in and do this. You can either do video call in. I have clients from all over the country and all over the world who call in as well to do these events. And so you can video call in, or you can come in person, whatever works for you, or you can call in on the phone. However, it's going to be fantastic. That's tomorrow night. If you guys all want to join, I wanted to share that with you. Master soul clearing energy session. It's going to focus on connects and disconnects, where we're not connecting, where we are connecting, where we're disconnected. All that good stuff, as well as your deepest, darkest subconscious shit that's going on in you in these times, is a great way to dump a lot of energy and put in the best way to be from love, for the best healing in all ways. Okay, that said, so we're going to do that. That's one of my things on my list here. That's one down. All right, so I wanted to talk to you about, as we know, last week was my birthday. Thank you guys for all the birthday gifts and wishes as well. Thank you, everybody. All right, thank you so much. I wanted to talk last week about gifts and gift giving, okay, because this is really important. A lot of us go through life and we get gifts that we don't like and we re-gift, right? Or we throw the gifts in the garbage, or we hide the gifts, all right? But remember, everything is metaphysical and has a meaning, a reason for whatever it is that is happening. And tonight we're going to talk about a few of the gifts that I got for my birthday, because it's kind of funny. We all buy gifts usually, as a general rule, with the intention that the person we're buying them for is going to love them, right? Sometimes people, though, buy gifts because it's what they love. Sometimes it's all about them, right? Excuse me. sometimes, we buy gifts thinking of others, right, in the healthiest, best way, right? We want to buy them a gift that we love, but sometimes it doesn't always go down like that. And sometimes our friends, our families, the people we love that we buy gifts for, don't always love those gifts. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And then we're going to talk about possibly what happened last week after that wild episode that I had where there was a store in Portsmouth that and the people in there tried to destroy our reputation and our stuff, and that had everything to do with the Mars opposition Uranus in the transit energy in my chart. A lot of you may have that. It's where people go to ridiculous lengths to destroy you, and you're like, wow, I mean, the darkness is so incredible. And in these times, this is the stuff that's coming out. So I was going to talk about the next thing that happened with that, because it's incredible. What happened next? I can't even believe that they took this to the next level, right? Because it's one thing to slander people on the internet a million times and talk really unwell about people and try to destroy them. And not that that should be taken lightly and be nasty and toxic with threats and all those things. Absolutely, that's high toxic, and that's definitely Mars opposition Uranus, okay? And a lot of other Pluto and Mars placements in our astrology chart will be part of that or have to do with that energy and create that to happen, all right? However, these particular people took this to an even further level, and these times are going to be full of this as we move into the future, as people see what they can get away with. Basically, the darkness sees what it can get away with and how far they can take it. It's like there's no boundaries. So it's up to us to figure out how far we want to bring things to, when it is wise to do what and how to do it and how to handle everything. And how we do that is basically through what we teach. Ask and you shall receive. Talk to love. Talk to God. Ask love to speak through you. Ask love to handle it. And you will never go wrong in that space. And there's no such thing as wrong, of course, but it will always work out in the best way from love for you, as long as your heart is in the right place. Okay, so these are 3 things here that are super important that we want to talk about today, as well as we want to take our questions from last week and any leftover questions from earlier times, and then your questions for this week. So thank you everybody for coming. I'm going to try to get comfortable here. And hi, Sophia. I saw you come in here, girl. All right. So Sophia's with us here in our live studio audience. I'm sure there'll be more people coming in. But for tonight, do we have any questions from last week, guys?
We have a question that was from actually 2 weeks ago, but the person is not on right now.
Okay.
So whenever she comes on, we'll ask.
Okay, so there's a person who has questions from last week, from a few weeks ago. They're not on tonight, so we're going to move on, and we'll bring their question back next time when they're on, or if they pop on later. Okay, so there's nobody from last week. Mm-hmm. All right, Rachel, you got nobody too?
Right.
Okay, and how about you guys? Are there questions from this week yet?
Yep, we already have one.
All right, go ahead. All right, yay.
Yeah, and so far we have Teresa, Courtney Lloyd is here, Deborah
Terrific.
Price, Mark Etheridge, Nicholas is here. I can't even go for the last name. You know Nicholas.
Hey, guys, I had to tighten my ring there so I can say hey.
Evelyn says hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Mark. Hi, Teresa. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And everybody here, thanks again for supporting our show. Share our show. And just come on back every week. Great stuff here for all of us from love. Okay, that said, first question.
First question is from Lana Short.
Okay. Hey, Lana.
She wants to know, is anyone at my job trying to set me up for failure?
Okay. When people ask me questions like this, the first thing is that you're clearly picking up on some energy. There's obviously people who you don't mesh with, people who don't like you. You can read and feel the energy. If you're on this program, you're super intuitive and super gifted, right? And so when you feel like that is happening, that means there's stuff going on that's not healthy, and you definitely are picking up on that. But it doesn't mean that it has to be a toxic thing. Again, it's like these times. It's something to put over here on the shelf Be aware of what's going on so that you can make your best choices and decisions in reference to you. And when that happens, what I do is ask love to be free of it. I ask love for the best outcome. I ask love for the best relationship with them. I ask love for that across the board in my work, that I love my job, everything's fantastic, and I clear any blocks that stop that from happening, and then I'm happy no matter what. Because if this comes to my table, that means there's stuff in me that believes, let's say, I'm under attack, or people are attacking me, or I'm vulnerable, I'm not confident in my gifts or my abilities to do my job, or in myself. A lot of times, these are the energies that are in this kind of thing. And it's done, Lana, not necessarily that you think of yourself exactly this way, not even close. A lot of times, especially now, it is done on a subconscious level that this energy comes up and is created in our reality in these wild times. The stuff is just coming out, the stuff that we don't want to deal with, can't look at, can't see, have blocks to. So this is why this is coming up, so that you can clear this, heal this, change this, and create what you want to happen. And know this. Let's say something did come from it that would be toxic. Then you will handle it. Ask love to handle it. Ask love in the moment to handle it. But you will have created it to be the best it can be, regardless. You don't have to figure that out. You just ask for that from love. Ask and you shall receive. Let go, let God, and then however it pans out, right? As you walk through this reality in this dimension, as you go to your job or you're at your job, any kind of unwellness that comes to your door, your soul will feel and know. Ask love to handle it in the moment. Ask love to speak through you. And this is for everybody who feels like any kind of undermining, any kind of darkness, any kind of challenge, anybody who doesn't like them. You have all the power here to change this kind of stuff all the time. But do not listen to your feelings, your emotions, any energies that you're picking up. Like Lana said, she said, I'm feeling like this is happening. At work, somebody doesn't care for me, or there's a possibility of this happening. Well, then there is. Do you see what I'm saying? And it more than not, infinitely, is not in the way that we think. All right. So, but you don't have to figure that out. All you have to do is ask universe if you want to know, what's the God's honest truth here, right? What's going on here? Well, what are the tools I need to handle this? Jesus, take the wheel, right? All of these things are ways to utilize all the energy in your world, and that is you, to handle this situation. Okay. From love. So Lana, I feel that you are right. All right. And any time that you don't listen to your intuition and your gifts, right, then you will ultimately at some point come head to head with this energy, because that's how it works. When you don't pay attention, the universe brings it to you harder and harder and harder more often than not, because we're not getting the message. So in this case, this is why when I feel something like this, I'm like, okay, God, quickly as possible. All right. What's going on here? And I'm talking to the universe about it so I can handle it, change it, create what I want to happen, be free of unwellness, and then I nip this in the bud and there is no problem. But this is all designed, Lana, and for all of us, to free us from this toxic that gets buried in our souls, and in our bodies and in everything that we are. And we can't seem to get it because it's done on a subconscious level. And it is done as well consciously, all right? But your subconscious soul runs the show, and this is that deepest, darkest stuff in these times to be released for us. So this is your soul basically taking the wheel, right? Or taking the reins and saying, hey, we need to get rid of this stuff. And know this, if it happens that you were to lose your job, or something unwell would happen, it's because universe with your soul, it has created something better for you. We all go, oh my God, I lost my job, I have no money, and we freak the fuck out when these earth world things happen to us in our people space. And I get that. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel those feelings if that were to happen to any of us. But you have all the power to deal with those feelings, to heal with those feelings, to see and clear and heal and change all of this, and create a different reality right here. You have all the power. Or you can lay down and die and say, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job and these people hate me and oh my God, all this crap. And then you employ that and it keeps happening in your life over and over and over. And then you get the next job and the same things happens the next job, or it happens in other areas in your life, right? Okay, so this really, thank you God for all these prayers for Lena now, all this energy work now, please, for her if she so desires it, and for everybody here as well, and these gifts as well, so they know how to do, what to do, when to do with this and everything in their lives, and thank you God for that for us. And let me just see here. So I feel that if since we said this work and you've done this work, I don't feel anything bad from this at all as happening. I feel that, again, everything we said here, trust your intuition, follow this, feel in your heart if any challenges comes up, talk to universe, talk to God, talk to love, right, to create your best outcome, just like we talked about, and I feel like everything's going to be fine. And in the event I only get a 23 to 27%, that they would be super undermining, where you would like lose your job or have to find a new job, but really it would be a blessing, because in the end you're going to move on at some point into the next 2 to 3 years or quicker, depending on what your soul, as I feel your soul's energy, depending on that, so it's not a really strong opportunity or chance, so to speak, or propensity for you to lose your job in this particular matter or case. Okay, so good things. This is all good things. All right, thanks, Lena. All right, anybody else? More questions?
We have Nikki.
Hey, Nick. All right, what we got?
She said, as you know, I applied for promotion, and she's wondering if she's going to move up quickly into better positions, or will all the drama hinder this?
Yes, I absolutely feel, Nikki, you're going to move on to a better position in your job. I do know that. Absolutely. Your boss that you have now absolutely adores you, loves you, wants great things for you. Sorry, I'm detoxing. It's a bitch. I'm like, whoa, today's rough. All right, so I'm having little sweats here. Okay. Yeah, your boss really loves you. I feel like there's between 3 and 5 positions here to up your position that you could go for overall. I feel he doesn't know about all of them yet. I feel like he knows about 2 to 3 of them. He's trying to get you in there for these positions. He really loves you. You do a fantastic job. And you have your shit together, and kudos to you, man, because the person I know years ago and how you've gone on this fucking spiritual journey, wow, I'm super fucking impressed by you. Awesome you. I'm just like, holy shit, the way you handle stuff, I'm like, oh my God, is that me or is that Nikki? And not to say that I am you, I'm just super impressed by how you work with God or love and are handling everything. Incredible. And you should be proud of you, Nikki. Super proud of you. Super proud. So I do feel you're going to be getting, your guy, I keep wanting to say his name, so stop me from doing that, God, on our live show. This main person that's your boss now, I feel like he is just gunning for you. He's over all these toxic people. That's how the office is run there. It's highly, highly toxic. So as soon as the smoke clears, I feel is when you will... something will come out of the woodwork that's more solid. I feel like this is just the start of moving this train in that direction. What'd she say?
Nikki said it's because of you.
No, Nikki. I'm part of the whole thing. It's not just because of me. It is really because of you. Because you had what it takes to do this work. And really, not many people do. My shop doesn't have hundreds of people lining up to get this shit, because the great suffering has to come first for most of those people out here, just saying, because that's how enlightenment works in Earth World. So kudos to you, Nikki. Good for you. You've done great. So it's really you, your soul, and congratulations. What amazing being you truly are. You've always been amazing. But now, 10 to 100 fold and infinitely into the future. And God bless you. I'm super proud of you. And you should be happy with who you are. Seriously, happy. Okay. And thank you for honoring me too. All right. That said, so I feel like January, February, something is really going to start to come to fruition. I feel like you're going to have choices of stuff, and you're going to have to make some wise choices there with jobs. So we'll probably be talking about that again. I feel like after the holidays, this will all come together because nobody really wants to fire people in the office over the holidays. Nobody really likes that. It does happen, though. It depends on how big the assholes in the office are, or whatever, or the bosses are, right? So I do feel there's a lot of chaos there. There's, just like the stuff we have in our everyday world with the collective and the darkness, lots of people who aren't honest, people who are toxic, people who are liars, people who are trying to get ahead, all this yuck. And it's all, part of the earth world toxic that has to go. And your boss, one of the reasons he hired you for this job is because he was betting on your energy, and it's coming to fruition, all these good things for him and for you. So this is a bonus for all you guys. So it feels like January, February, March. By March, I feel like you'll have a new position. I feel like it's possibly $10,000 to $20,000 to $35,000 more than you are making. Okay, but more money sometimes means more responsibility. And what can you do, or what do you want to do? All because you want to do some stuff or you want to do things doesn't mean that that's what's best for you. You have to, figure out what is best for me. When I say authentically or honestly in earth world, as well as what's best for me and my soul. Do I really want to do this job? Is this going to float my boat? And am I going to be passionate enough about this? So there will be multiple positions with multiples monies included coming in. Feels like March is when these really are going to solidify, but January and February is when they're going to start to come in. And you'll have to make some tough decisions, but this is all part of your spiritual growing as well, not just earth world stuff and universe bringing you more money and more gifts and more tools and more wisdom, but wisdom not just from all that is God or love and learning and growing with your soul, but also earth world wisdom. Yeah, nothing teaches like earth world, right? Okay, for all of us, yes. Okay, so that's pretty much what comes in for you. I think it's really great stuff. And again, it's universe rewarding us. No matter how difficult the challenges are and all you've been through, Nick, it's time for your north-south node return. Basically, all the karma from the last 30 years is now coming back to all of us. And depending on the toxic you've been and are, or not, or the positive, healthy, amazing, trying to stay in your heart all the time, always gets rewarded from love. So lots of great stuff, opportunities, monies, gifts, tools, jobs, destinies, dreams are going to be met, and it's going to keep on happening depending on vibrations and levels and the way of the system that universe has designed for this world and the shit that's going on here. Different vibrations, different things happen in waves, just like generational things, just like, newborns, then there's teens, and then there's, preteens, sub-adults, adults, just the evolution of what's going on in the planet in these tumultuous times, everything that we're dealing with. There's massive rewards and guidance and wisdom for all of us with this. And so this is going to be some of your rewards. An exciting, super cool time. Yeah. Yeah. And I know you've been through it this week, Nick. So, I know it's been some tough shit, and, you handled everything amazingly. And so universe doesn't ignore that. So blessings are coming. They're already happening, Okay, that said, who's next?
I want to let you know that Lana said thank you. And she does plan on staying at her job for some time, for at least a couple more years.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years. That's what I feel like, Lana. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause she does like it.
You're super welcome.
The next person is Sarah Sutra.
Okay.
And she says, how are we feeling about the eclipse? And then she follows it up with, I've got problems.
That's so funny you say. All right. You guys know what this eclipse is? Is it a Scorpio, Taurus, or which one is it? What is it, the eclipse? Does anyone know?
I think it was a solar eclipse.
Do I have my phone even with me?
Yesterday.
Did I bring it?
It's a Scorpio sun, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the moon is, though.
Okay, so it's Scorpio sun, but what usually, if it's Leo time, the moon will be in Aquarius. So if it's Virgo time, the moon is in Pisces. So if it's Libra time, the moon is in Aries. So Scorpio time, the moon is in Taurus. So this is what it is. So did she answer?
Well, Angela Pearl said it's Scorpio new moon.
All right, so Scorpio new moon. Okay, yeah. So as a general rule, that's usually how it works in the calendar year. So whatever sign the moon is in, it will be the counter sign of that. So if it's Scorpio, it's Taurus. Although, did Sarah Sutra just say that she said it was in Taurus?
No, Angela Pearl said it was Scorpio new moon is all she said.
Okay.
Scorpio.
All right, how am I feeling about it? Actually, I'm okay with it. I feel that my challenges have been so wild these days. It's kind of, right at this moment, it feels tame for me. Okay. However, not everybody will be feeling that. Now, here's the deal. These moons, these eclipse moons like this, eclipse moons, any kind of moon is going to activate your moon, anything having to do with moon and moon aspects in your astrology, as well as your north and south node. Okay, so in my particular case, and this is why I feel it is happening for Nikki, if I'm not mistaken, Nikki might have a north and south node in Taurus and Scorpio as well. So if you have they're called your lunar nodes in your astrology chart. You have your north node, which is your destiny in this lifetime and the things that your soul is working on and learning, right? But it's also your destiny, where the direction you're supposed to go in. That's your north node. And the south node is your past, the gifts and tools and things that you have mastered. So my south node is Scorpio. My north node is in Taurus, and they go hand in hand with the signs. So if you have your north node in Libra, your south node will be in Aries. Okay. And then depending on the time of year, all right, the moon is always going to hit on all of your nodes and any kind of aspects that happen all throughout all of your astrology charts to affect you and to activate things, of course, and on multiple different levels with multiple different things and the things that the moon governs in general. The fourth house, so it'll be your 4th and 10th, Capricorn and Cancer energies, but also these nodes which are about your new destiny. And the reason I brought up Unical, if you can share if your nodes are in Scorpio and Taurus in at least one of your charts. So this is because this is sending you on your new destiny, on a trip on your new destiny with the new jobs. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's definitely activated in Unical. Also, if you have more prominent placements in Scorpio and in Taurus, that will also happen, Sarah, for you. If you want to share some of your challenges, you are more than welcome to, and I'll elaborate more if there's more stuff. Is there? Did she type in some more stuff?
Yes, she did.
Okay, because I could talk for hours about this. I'm sure you guys know this because I get massive information coming in. But go ahead, I want to address your stuff, Sarah. Okay, and thanks. Okay, go ahead.
She said that she found out that her partner of 34 years was being blackmailed for sexual favors for 2 years from a young girl who lives up the street, and that was her friend. Yeah, so that's what's going on.
Oh yeah. This is definitely the moon shit. Lunar nodes, moon stuff, absolutely. The Scorpio energy, and you're going to have that because right now we are in Scorpio season. It's the 26th. The 26th, isn't it? The 26th of October. Yeah, it's totally Scorpio season. We have Libra within that, but we have the Scorpio season. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Scorpio is your deepest, darkest, nastiest shit, and it also has very more often than not to do with cults and manipulation and blackmail and sexual things, all right? Or sexual stuff. So this, to me, goes right in alignment. So you're really getting hit hard and heavy, but this is really, Sarah, to get you to the God's honest truth of what's really going on here with this, right? Because to put it frankly, honestly, I don't know the exact dynamics, but in the power being, all right, that I am, and I'm not your boyfriend or I'm not him, all right, and this doesn't mean any bad thing for him, but somebody who is well will stand up and say, you do whatever you need to do, but this isn't healthy and I'm not doing it. Do you see my point? Yeah. And my job here is to share this with you from love, because this is about getting to the truth. That's what Scorpio does. Transformation, the truth, the God's honest truth about what's going on here. So this is a great potential for you to learn a lot of things here that, just like what I said, are not going to feel super good. But the cool thing is, if you release yourself from taking this personally, because this isn't a personal thing on you, right? What happens here is this is the choices that he and this other person made, and we're all responsible for our own choices. So if he felt good about himself and felt empowered within himself, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you in a healthy space of him, he will be the person that says, hey, no. This isn't healthy for me. It isn't healthy for you. And there are boundaries here. There's a healthy space of love. And this is what we do and teach. But this is part of what we're all going through. Getting down to the God's honest truth about what's really going on, in real earth world, right? So there's going to be a lot of bizarre stuff like this coming in right now. I've had a couple other clients talk to me about this crazy stuff as well. Really unhealthy manipulation, sexual stuff, all kinds of things like that. But Sarah, the good news is all of this can change. Right? This is about getting clear. This is about a better relationship. This is about the God's honest truth from love. This is about sitting down and talking. This is about healing the stuff in us that creates this to happen, as well as, this is his opportunity as well. This is your friend's opportunity as well to change her, right? And so this is massive transformation here with everybody. And so this is why this happened, because this is about getting to the deepest, darkest things in us, and that will be created in our reality. But you're a powerful woman, you're a beautiful woman, you have super powerful gifts, and how you handle this from love is everything. It is the ability to follow your heart, talk to God, talk to love for the best outcome, and thank you, God, for that for us, to handle this for you. Okay? And for him and for everybody. In other words, you're not handling it for him. You handle it for yourself from love, and ask love to speak through you. Ask love to sit down. Ask love to clear this out. Ask love to heal your feelings. But you want to do this one step at a time, because this is very heated. This is very emotional stuff. There's a lot of hurt feelings here. This is how these things roll, and, it's like when they say all is fair in love and war, nobody comes out the winner, really, because there's a lot of hurt feelings and crap. And, I've done crazy things in my life as well, where, I've had affairs and wasn't in the healthiest space of me when I was younger, well before I got to this God space. But that's what brought me here, So some of my greatest demons, if I shared them here with you guys, man, and there's some of my shit is pretty shitty. I'm not going to lie to you. It really is, right? But that's all of our gifts, man. It's to get my shit out, to clean this stuff up so I can heal me, so this never happens again and I never hurt like this again. And then I can have really a truly authentic, healthy relationship with all of these people and with myself in the healthiest, best way from love. Hard subjects, right? Yeah. So that's why I say, Jesus, take the wheel all the time when I talk here. And if you need to talk more and more personal about it, or you want some assistance, let me know. You know where we are, because this is really touchy subject. I didn't even really like to say, oh my God, what I got to say. But really, that's the truth. Each one of us is responsible for our own behavior. You, your partner, and your friend, and so we make choices based in love or less than love. And that's where we want to bring this world to, is a higher knowing of love, because when we work with love, we always know what the right thing to do is from love. All because we can do these things doesn't mean we should. And even when people can try to blackmail us and all this stuff, and I have stories of lifetimes of stuff like this, and garbage meaning stuff where, we didn't know what the right choices to make were. Okay, that's why these tools here are so incredible, and they will help you get through all of this. But you also must feel your human emotions, okay? Your human emotions as you go through this. And the best thing to do is to stop, right? And let yourself feel these emotions, right? And work on this, clear this out, heal this, and ask love to speak through you every time you speak to him and about this, so that you can still retain the healthiest, best ways to be within this relationship as you work through this stuff. And thank you, God, or love, for that for us now, please. Ask love for the best time to handle it, the best time to do things, the best way to speak, the best healing within these spaces within our relationships, and with all of this from love. And thank you, God, for that for us. But definitely, this absolutely 110% is that's Taurus, Scorpio, north-south node, and this eclipse thing, no doubt, eclipse. If you think about it, an eclipse is where something overshadows something, right? So it's kind of like we think we have this relationship here. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, something else is going on. So it's about getting to the God's honest truth. And that's what Scorpio does. Transformation in these areas where we're not seeing the truth. With ourselves, in our relationships, with other people, with our friendships, within all that we are. And we are all going through it. And Scorpio adds this lovely, beautiful tinge of, in this particular case, your deepest, darkest sexual kind of stuff, but other placements will come in the chart, and it depends on what houses you have this all in, how much it's going to affect you, where the nodes are, where the moon is. So a lot of different things play a role here, but it is in the grand design of all the energy in the collective, in the world right now, for the layers and process of healing for all of us on an individual level and a collective level on the planet. Okay, so hang in there, girl. I'm sending you love. We did some great healing work for this, and you know what to do. You're a master healer. You got this. You got this. Okay. All right. So who's next? Did you have any more to say? Or
I haven't seen anything more. No.
Okay. Who's next?
Angela Pearl. She says, I feel like starting a side gig of making money by doing something creative and selling whatever I create, but worry about buying everything and it not working out, or I let my motivation run out.
All right, there you go. Fear. All right, go ahead. What else? Is that what she's saying anymore?
Well, she's saying that's a fault of hers that she's working on, letting her motivation run out.
Yeah.
So she's looking for any guidance that could help her be successful and how to overcome her obstacles.
Yeah. Energy work.
Well, I was just going to say just that wording, overcome the obstacles, reminded me of your energy session for tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can do energy sessions with me. You could do the one tomorrow night. You could do it with other people as well, but you can also pull out your astrology chart. Let's say your natal one right now in the transit, and ask love, ask God, what placements, what's going on in my chart that is causing me to have this fear? That's one thing. What aspects, right? Also, any on all placements that are causing me to not be able to follow through, like Mars in Cancer is a placement that a lot of people complain about, and it's known for where you lay on the couch or you're bored or you don't want to do anything and you don't have the motivation to do anything, okay? So, Mars in the 12th house is another one where you a lot of times can't speak up for yourself, or an intercepted Aries house, okay? So, again, it depends on the houses it's in, but these are some of the demons or the aspects that will manifest in ourselves, okay? Because your astrology and astrology, all the charts that is really in the formula of astrology is, what would you call it? The layers really of your soul, okay? So the first place to start here for I always tell people, you're going to do your natal chart, your transit natal chart, which go together. You can hit them both. And you can also do them separately, as well as your subconscious soul chart and your subconscious soul transit and your progressed. And that's a load of work and things to look into. But very simply, ask love which aspect, which chart, where to look for these things. But first, write your things down. Ask where to look, ask universe, and your soul will guide you. Something will pop on your phone. It'll say like Jupiter opposition moon, or do you see what I'm saying? And that will lead you to where to the answer of what you asked to clear. And sometimes you'll understand this stuff more often than not, but a lot of times you won't, because it's a subconscious thing, and it is actually the energy of it, or the energy that is blocking you from understanding, or that from making these changes out here in Earth world. So it's infinite. Energy is infinite, and the ways to work with it isn't necessarily just clearing these things literally out of you. A lot of times, especially lately with the stuff that's going on with me in these times, and if it's going on with me, it's not particular to me, it's for all of us. Okay, hold on a minute, I gotta remove this sage here because it's like getting in my eye. Thanks God for clearing that out. All right, so and what we're going to do is we're going to ask God for those placements for you to clear, heal, and change them. And you can do this as well, to remove all this energy that is all of this that is stopping you, is making you afraid. And has these cycles where you don't follow through and can't follow through. That's a Mars energy as well. That's an Aries energy as well. It's a Gemini energy. It can be a Sag energy. It's a Libra energy. Okay, all of these things are the placements that a lot of times will have faults across the board, or faults meaning it's really not a fault. It's just an energy where you can't follow through. You can't get your shit together, or other things get lost in the shuffle and you can't focus. So these are all placements that come up right away, or areas to look in your chart. All right, and going back to the prayer that I said, so I'm going to ask God for all these placements for you, and clear, heal, and change all of this for you and us. Let us connect to it, feel it, heal it, process it, and release it, so that you can make this your greatest endeavor from love, and the greatest abundance and the greatest love of your life, if you so choose, and clear all these blocks out, and that no matter what, you are happy and you have all the gifts, tools, everything you need from love to do whatever you wish to do here with this. And thank you, God, for that for us from love, but in the purest form in this reality, and abundance in the purest form in this reality, any reality and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay, that said, thank you for this in our souls. All we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in the best way for us, and all or something better. And a lot of times you'll see me repeat things because I know I talk a mile a minute especially when I channel and we do this stuff, but it gives you guys opportunity to really get it. And what is the word I'm looking for? Get it, understand it, remember it, and guided by higher knowing to help us all learn, right? Okay, so that said, this should really help you immensely. And if you want to pinpoint it and get down to the nitty gritty, or you start to move forward and you feel like you're still not getting where you need to do or go, if you don't do the astrology placements, then we will find them for you, and we can do it together here, or you can do it together by yourself, or personally with me here, or personally, if you want. However, again, if you feel like it's not moving forward where you want to bring it, after 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, you're not doing anything on it, and then each time monitor yourself, so you pay attention to what's going on in your earth world reality. If you're not getting it done, why is that? Just like me with anything I need to get done, and I talk to God all the time. Hey, why am I not getting this done? What's going on here? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? What's not working for me? There's some weird fog going on out there by the window. It's crazy outside the door. So caught my attention. It did. All right. So that said, you have all the power to work with God, to work with love all the time. So remember that, but also pay attention to your earth world, because there may be some other things here that are underlying layers of the stuff that needs to be addressed, because we have so many facets in our souls, especially at this level of God. We are super complex, right? We didn't get to be superheroes of the universe because we have not been around the block, right? You don't get all these magical gifts and incredible knowing and wisdom and heart space and understanding of love without doing the work. So sometimes, and usually more often than not, it entails that we have other work to do. But you will know in your reality, and we have this work to do, and you will know in your reality by what happens, what you still needs to work on, because the second your business starts to take off and it starts to flow, then you have done what it takes in the energy work. Any challenges come up, you bring them to the universe. The universe will guide you and show you everything you need. Ask and you shall receive, right? Yeah, it's cool as shit. Cool as shit. Okay, so that said, there you go. There you go, girl. Thanks. All right, who's next?
Sarah Andrews.
All right.
She's new tonight. She said she was recommended by Red, who I believe is Jean Crom.
Oh, yeah. Great. Thank you, Jean. Thanks, Jean, for recommending us. Thank
Jean
you.
wants you to come to Richmond.
Oh, and I do want to come to Richmond, Jean. I'm excited because I've been looking for avenues to do what we do so we can get it out in public to the world, just like with the LOAs Live. And I have some other promoters working with me or working with us. So I'm super grateful, Jean, for whatever opportunities come with us. I'm super psyched. So thank you. And thanks for sharing with your client, Sarah, sharing this with us. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And hi, Sarah. And hi, Jean. All right. So how can we help you, Sarah?
So Sarah's question is that she said she's just starting out on her journey and she's opening her eyes to things she's been blocking for some time. And she's wondering if you have just any advice for her.
All right. That's so wild because I was feeling like I need to come in with some books for people. I don't know if you've looked into any books, but somebody emailed me or PM'd me today with the show. I get a lot of people constantly PMing me, and I'm super grateful because this is what we're about. We're about helping people. So if you got a question, I'll help you anytime I can, as long as I can, and I'll balance it out. It may take me a few days. I tell people, remind me if I don't answer your question or you need help or assistance, remind me, and I will get on it. Okay. Let me just get back to where we were. Okay, so somebody was asking me about books for protection. So I'm going to give you a bunch of books, Sarah, that on your journey, when I first went down this journey, were massive, the greatest books for me that I loved. And if you've read them, then one of the things that I realize is that I've read them many times over the course of years, because there's always something new in the God space that I'm in that I couldn't see before, right? That I didn't know, or somehow, how did I miss this in the book, right? Or maybe I fell asleep or whatever when I was reading, right? All right. But these books were like staples in awesome learning for me. Really, really incredible things. Sorry, my stuff is falling off over here, off of my chair. All right, so I'm going to share these with all you guys. I've probably said these before. My first and favorite one, because the spiritual journey is really about self-love and loving you in the healthiest, best way. If you don't take care of you, there is no you. Self-love, right? And that said, I love this book. What is it? The Four Agreements. I think it's by Miguel Ruiz, okay? Four Agreements. It's a 96-page book. It's really tiny, all right? It's not a big book. It will take you I don't even know, maybe a couple hours to read through it. It's incredible. I'm a slow reader because my mind, as a kid, it was like I have OCD and ADHD, right? That's what they call it in Earth World, right? Because my mind and my soul mind is always all over the place. So for me to really focus and read shit, I don't prefer to read shit on the internet if I can help it. But I will read things many times over and over. Is there anything else I need to see? But this book is fantastic. And I'm a slow reader, so it will take me some time to go through that. But you may read faster, but it's a fantastic book. It talks about, and I'm sure many of you already know about this book. It's called The Four Agreements. And what it talks about is really how to honor you and everybody from love. It's a fantastic book. A fantastic book. It's like my all-time favorite. The other ones that I have for you too is a protection book. It's called Energy Vampires. How to spot them, how to see them, how to know them. This is by a woman author. I think her last name is Harbor, and the tools for you to do this and the tools for you to see them, know who they are, and the ways to address this kind of stuff. So she gives you some really good stuff, right? In this book, Energy Vampires, because if we let people, they will suck the living life out of us in energy. And all of us have people who we dread going out with, or we dread going over their house. Even lovers, man. I can't tell you how I discovered that one of my all-time favorite ex is a massive energy vampire. Every single time I would be with him, like physically, right? Be with him and or physically, whether we were out here in this reality, but many times more often than not, it was through having sex that I discovered how depleted my energy became. I'm sure many of you know that. You ever have a lover who sucks the living life out of you? Because it's an energy exchange. You take on their energy, they take on yours. It's big shit. And then they walk away feeling great if you're a higher being, right? Because they suck the love energy out of you, right? And this is all part of our learning, right? And what happens then is you're left. I remember I'd be sick. I vomited for like 3 days after that. I'm like, yeah, this sex was not worth it. I'm like, oh my God, but it was part of my learning, part of my growth, right? When you have a positive, healthy energy exchange in relationships, this doesn't happen. This kind of thing does not happen, right? Because everybody's in a healthy space of love and it's positive and healthy. But energy vampires suck off of you, right? They take and they take and they take. And a lot of times we're either madly in love with them, we don't see it, they take advantage. There's all kinds of garbage, and some stuff is done consciously and some is not. And again, it depends on the person, but this is a fantastic book to protect us all, you know, and for guidance and wisdom. Because if you haven't been through these kinds of things in your spiritual journey, it's coming, because that's part of the process of growing and growing to love you, where you would say, hey, you know what? I love that man. And I love sex with that man, or making love to that man. It's great. Everything's great. I love that. But because this happens, I choose not to be with him because I love me. Yeah. Big shit. Took me a little bit to get that lesson. But, you know, that's part of the human condition, you know, because we're taught that we love people and we should stay with them, and sex is great and we love sex and, you know, but this is all part of earth world bullshit over here. The healthiest, positive, most incredible sex and incredible relationships come from love in the purest form. And when we have a positive, healthy relationship, friendship, and energy exchange from love, and it's not sex, it becomes love making. It brings us to higher spaces of God. Whew, really incredible emotions in this space. Really incredible magic from love, not darkness, love. So, the energy, that was a great story to share with everybody here. So when we talk about this Energy Vampires book, it's a great book for everybody. These books you can get on Amazon. We probably sell some of them at our shop and center, okay? Or you can get them, you know, just ask God where's the best place to get them and you will find them. All right. Another fantastic, so these two books are fantastic for your spiritual journey. And the other one that I really love is Neale Donald Walsh. Neale Donald Walsh, his Conversations with God, he has a bunch of them. I don't resonate with the other ones. I read one of them. I think I might have started to read the second one and just put it down. And it's not because it's bad. It's just wasn't for me. But my favorite book of his was the first one. It's where he talks to God, kind of like what I do here. Ask and you shall receive, but it's in a book. You see? So on that path, it's incredible, incredible wisdom. So I love that book for everybody because it gives you a different perspective than what Earthworld as a general rule gives you. And it's a really gifted channeling book. I mean, it's pretty amazing. All these books are really fucking incredible. So these three are books. I think there's some other ones. I like Angel Numbers 101 by Doreen Virtue. It's a great way to look at numbers and see them differently and get the messages in numbers, which is a lot of fun on my spiritual journey. In the beginning, especially when I didn't know what numbers meant, like 111 and 444 and 3 and, you know, special sequences of numbers, right? Angel Numbers. In fact, I have this book right here. Say this is one of these books. Now, I think it might be out of print because Doreen Virtue is on a new spiritual journey. All right. But the book is nonetheless a really great tool and gift, and it's exciting and it's fun. Also, there is another one, Animal Spirits. I think this was by her ex-husband, or I don't know if he's still her husband, but I think it's Animal Spirit Guides. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
Animal Spirit
Stephen
Guides
Farmer.
by Stephen Farmer. I really love that book as well, where if you see animals, this will tell you the meanings of that, and as you grow in your spiritual journey, you will just ask God for these answers. Okay, God, what does this mean? What does that mean? You can also look these things up on the internet as well. Google, spirit animal, or, spirit animals, and you can Google, let's say you saw a crow, then you Google a crow, or you saw an elephant, and it doesn't have to be literal. Right? It can be that you went to the zoo and there was a whole bunch of elephants and they broke out of the zoo. Well, you got to get the message. It's for you. If you were at the zoo when the elephants broke out, right? Or you could be, at the doctor's office and they have a National Geographic and there's a tiger on the cover and you happen to notice that. Or, right, this means that animal, that energy is around you. It can be one of your guides, depending. Same thing with the elephant. So you can research this stuff and learn so much. And then it helps you connect with the messages that universe is bringing us. What they call is like coding. Everything has messages and energy to teach us, to help us, to assist us. Everything is magic. So it could be on the cover of a magazine. It could be something that flashes, let's see, that flashes through your phone, right? I'll ask God questions or universe or love questions, and then all of a sudden something comes up, right? Something comes up in front of my phone and I'm like, okay, I know what that's the answer to, right? And that's how it works, and you'll feel it and you know it. And if you don't, ask and you shall receive. Ask love. All right, God. All right, love. Or angels, whatever you feel comfortable calling this energy that is all, that is love, that is everything. Okay, so Sarah, these are great tools and gifts for everybody here. The numbers book, the animal book, they're a lot of fun to do as well. They make your spiritual journey a lot of fun as well. Let me just see. Anything else here? And again, always the main thing that we do on the show, you can come on the show all the time. It's on donation, like we said. It's to teach, to help people, to assist them in their greatest lives with what's coming. Because the more you work with love, and the more you are in your heart, and the more you are guided by your heart, Sarah, and this is for everybody, doing what we do, ask and you shall receive. The more you work with God, the more you work with love, the more you're going to have your greatest life, and great things are going to happen for you. And that's the most powerful gift I can give you. As well as you might want to start looking into astrology and numerology, Vedic astrology. There's all different kinds of formulas of God, and it's really, or formulas of love and mystical or spiritual stuff, right? Stones and herbs and natural healing and healing alternatives and energy work. What is it that resonates with your soul? What you feel, just like all these books, you don't got to run out and get all this and do all this. You feel what works for you, what feels good in your heart that I said here tonight. And maybe that's where you want to start, and you don't know where you want to start. Ask love that you do. Ask love for which book is best for you to get. Ask love for what you need right now and where to go. Because it can be super overwhelming, right? You don't want to be spending all this money when you don't have to. One thing at a time. Follow your heart. Feel it in your heart, because that's the greatest wisdom. Even if you're not in the space to talk to God or pray on stuff or ask the universe for what you need, then start with what you feel in your heart. How do things feel to you? Because think is what this is. Because this is your most incredible wisdom. It trumps earth world intelligence. Even though all is God, this governs everything. It's love. It's your heart, right? Your soul is genius, Sarah. All of our souls are genius. It knows exactly what the fuck it's doing. So when somebody calls you stupid, they're not right. Not even close. Whoever it is, right? Okay, girl. So that's incredible wisdom and gifts for everybody here as well as you. And follow your heart and you'll do the right thing, meaning you'll pick out the best stuff. All right? Okay. All right. Who's next? Did she say anything? Response?
A bunch of people are saying things about, oh, I love this book, I love that book, and they're
great. Yeah, please do share, because there's millions of ways. God is infinite. It's not my way or the highway, or you have to do it like this. Follow your heart. We're all unique and different and special. But if you resonate with this is a fantastic way to get you where you need to go. This is what we do. Right? And so you feel, and please, everybody, share, because what resonates with one person might not for another. Just like there's Eckhart Tolle, there's a lot of different spiritual people out there, that you might connect with differently or or better for you, that you feel. Do you see? You have to listen to your heart, feel it in here. Okay, thanks. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, everybody.
She says, thank you so much. Good shit.
You got it. That's all we do is good shit. Sometimes it might not feel so good with the stuff we got to go through or do, but truly it is. It's the best. It's the best from love. That's what we do. All right? Okay.
Before we move on, Jean says, told you she's on point.
Oh, Jean. God bless you, Jean, and thank you. And it's funny you say that, Jean, because I said to God years ago, I said, if we came in here to do this, we need to teach the people and tell the people and share with the people that God's honest truth, or I got no business doing this. And that's who we are. So thank you, Jean. You wouldn't be on here if you weren't that girl, too. And neither would any of you. Okay. All right. Who's next?
So next is Casey Marie. Mm-hmm. She's so funny. She says, help, Lynn.
Hi, Casey. Love you, girl.
She says, I have not considered a relationship in many years, and now that I am, all my shit's coming up. Maybe it's jealousy, not even sure what I'm feeling, honestly. Or fear I might let someone great pass by because I told him I just wanted to be friends initially, but that the best way for me to get to know a man. And then she also went further later on, and she says, I want to say that the synergy chart between us is amazing.
Yeah. Casey, this isn't your normal relationship. This is a twin flame soulmate thing, girl. This is going to rock your shit. And I'm laughing. We've all been there, right? This is, again, what do we talk about? Our everybody's shit is coming to the surface. So I get it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is really going to rock your stuff. And you know what to do, girl. You, like everybody else on here, is super gifted. You have your own healing practices, and you do your own thing as well. So you have all the gifts. Yeah, the synergy is incredible. The synergy chart and looking through your chart and seeing all the things, incredible stuff. And a lot of this stuff, these twin flame soulmate relationships, Casey, that are coming in right now. My daughter is going through one. I want to look at their chart. I don't know if you guys know Molly. One of my daughters is going through this relationship thing. Molly, another one of our people, is going through this relationship thing. And this is about destinies from past lifetimes where we're bringing that karma, to the present. And I'm telling you this, Casey, because this, I feel like, is a karmic agreement. I do feel like 73 to 78% this man has the potential to be your life partner for the rest of this life. But it comes with a considerable amount of work. I don't got to tell you that because your soul is already dumping. You're like, that's how this shit rolls. What she say? OMG. Yeah. Oh yeah. So, it's an incredible thing. I mean, God is so incredible, and all the formulas and all the things to learn about. It's just fascinating. That's why I love this stuff. It never ends, So, this is what you're going through, girl. If you need any assistance, by all means, let us know. Start rocking the chart. Clear these blocks out. Put the best way to be from love for you and ask for what you want. Put it out there, universe. See where he's at. What kind of a relationship do you want? This is big shit, big shit. So I'm excited for you. What universe is saying to me. Oh, Casey Marie. They're telling me for you to go for it. But but they're not going to stop you. The only person who stops you is you, and I feel it like a steam train. But this is destiny. It's okay, right? And this is all really, it's a spiritual journey. Twin flames, soulmates. All this shit is about your spiritual stuff. People think, it's the relationship of the love of my life, and I have to be with him forever. All because I said that, or universe says this through me, doesn't mean it has to be that. Some people can't get their shit together to do what it takes. But this is about you releasing that attachment to them And a lot of times what happens is people say, well, they're my energy and they're the love of my life and I can't let them go. And I'm like, yeah, you can. And here's why. They're not you. Get a clue. Your job isn't to save them. They're not you. They may be your energy, right? But you got to release that, because this has everything to do with toxic earth world, old world, traditional beliefs of what relationships truly are. That's what the twin flame journey and twin flame soulmate journey is all about. It's about healing the self, right? Because the dream relationship, Casey Marie, that you want is right here inside of you. And this guy can either be it or not if he can do the work. But you can't do it for him, right? But you can work together, and you can do it and he can do it, and you can have a great fucking incredible amazing relationship for sure. But more often than not, that doesn't happen. This is a spiritual journey, because one partner, usually there's a chaser thing, and there's all the dynamics that go with this shit, right? And when I say shit, because it's rough, right? But there's all these dynamics that go with this, but it can be a great thing. But more often than not, it doesn't go to those spaces, because on the spiritual path, it's hard to heal yourself. It's hard to do the work because it's emotional. And in these times especially, it's really deep stuff. But I do feel strongly that this is a karmic past life agreement. All right. And there will be a flow and a harmonious energy. And if this guy can do it, he can be that guy. But if not, your soul will do all this work and it will exit out. And it will bring you the best partner for you, because the new world of love doesn't have the old world ways and earth world. Everything's falling apart. And so we have to get clear, just like what Sarah's going through, just like what my friend Nikki is going through, just like what all of us are going through in the relationship stuff. We have to, release this stuff, heal it, clear it, to create our greatest selves, as well as allow our partners and us to either have this great relationship, or our souls will bring in the one that is the best person for us from love. But, this is about a lot of work, and it's a tough thing. So I feel for you. It's also very exciting. It's incredible. It's different. It's amazing. These things I won't lie to you about, not at all, but I don't lie anyway. So not if I can help it. All right. But again, we will talk about lying on another day, because there's a lot to go with that. Lying is a whole different can of worms with God and universe and what it truly means. But for right now, I'm just telling you the truth, the God's honest truth about what this is and what's going on for you. You know it. And I'm excited for you, and I'm happy for you, and it's beautiful. And I would love, if you want to send me the charts, I'll take a look at them privately. I would love that. I would fucking love that, right? Because it's so fascinating to see how this lines up and that lines up and this lines up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cool shit. Cool shit. All right. So any questions, Casey Marie, you can talk to me here and talk to us here. You can also, you know how to do the work, girl. And you can also PM me. I would love, like I said, I'd love to take a look at the charts. And if I can help you with anything, just let me know, please. All right. Okay. She good?
Yes.
All right. Let me just see here. What else? Who's next?
We have Kathy Warmick.
All right.
She had a question from a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Hi, Kathy.
She says hi. She's on tonight. She's asking where you can get really good vitamins and supplements.
Okay. When you say really good vitamins and supplements, there's a lot of good ones out there. I know several. One is Nature's Sunshine, all right, but that's kind of like Young Living, where you gotta, I think, have a membership and buy a certain amount. Although I don't know, I haven't purchased a lot of stuff from them in a while where I was in the membership, so I'm not up to date on how they're running it now. And everybody's changing everything with the control issues that are going on in the world today. Again, Scorpio, all right, Scorpio, they want to control everything you do. They'll have like just ridiculous rules, so that said, let me just see here. Let's see. So Nature's Sunshine. I like Pure. All right, Pure products. All right, but again, read not everything is what is the best in the best interest for you. So you really got to pay attention to the ingredients. Okay, so you want all natural stuff as much as possible. You can still get, ones that aren't necessarily a brand name vitamin, and they can still be good quality vitamins. It's about the ingredients. It's about what's in them. Okay. All right. So that said, Nature's Sunshine Pure, I believe Dr. Steve, who works with us, chiropractic, and is super, super gifted nutritionally, he talks about Standard Process as well. All right. And they have catalogs. So these are 3 companies that you could work with and do for vitamins, again, minerals and herbs, but there's multiple other ones. And ask God, ask love for the best ones for you, the best companies for you. And there'll be different prices, right? All because something is more money doesn't mean it's better for you. And all because something is less money doesn't mean it isn't good. Do you see? It just depends on what is the best one for you from love. All right. So, because universe is infinite. Okay. All right. So that should help you, give you 3 different companies that right there. And I'm thinking, is there any other ones that we really like, God, that we've been doing with all the work that we've been doing with our own healing and in our healing business? What else do we work with? And again, like I said, I'll buy a lot of different products because one of the things that I do with this is I'm trying meaning working with God or love and I'm being guided to try this, to try that, to do this, to do this. And this is all part of the grand design for me to find out what works best, what doesn't. And this is also many times, more often than not, as healers, part of the process in Earth World of what we do, right? I feel like, I'm going to buy this Lambro-Canese and then this brand of Lambro-Canese and then that brand, and you'll know right away which one works for you. You ask God, you ask love to feel that it works for you, to feel it if this is what's best for you. You don't have to buy all the stuff like I'm doing, but a lot more times, more often than not, we all end up trying a couple of different ones for different reasons. And this is all part of the journey so that we have different products to help us be well with no matter what comes in these times. And do not throw away anything that you get, because what's good for one person like you may be good for somebody, or not good for somebody, right, like you, may be good for somebody else, and it may be a good trade item in the future, an item to help somebody in your healing business, okay? And remember, expiration dates aren't truth of God in how long things last. You want to know how long things last in the quality and in the potency? Ask love, ask God. Okay? All right. And remember, your best natural vitamins, herbs, and everything is the real stuff. Always. The real stuff. Food is your greatest real food. You know what I mean? Not chemicals, not garbage, not processed, whole foods. Okay? Vitamins, or what am I talking about? Vegetables, fruits. Okay? So, this should help everybody in these times. But, and I'm glad you brought this up, Kathy, because it's really important that we stock up on these things, vitamins, minerals, herbs, and things for the future. Because when people start to get sick or shit hits the fan, and we hope that it doesn't, but it's super wise to have vitamin E, vitamin A, lysine, L-lysine, all different kinds of vitamins for your own, natural vitamins, vitamin C's, all different kinds of stuff. And nobody's really talking about that. They say, just stock up on your medicines. Yeah, no, right? You want to make sure you have plenty of cell salts, right? For these times, right? You want to make sure you have plenty of vitamins, minerals, and herbs, because if the shit hit the fan, it's not a question of if but it's really a when. As we go through time, you will have tools to help other people, to help yourself heal, to help other people heal, and you'll have an abundance of them. So anything you buy, that is a vitamin, a mineral, and herb, and if you guys can, stock up on these things for you, and not just the ones that I said, like vitamin E and vitamin A and L-lysine, right? Stock up on these things, because these will be great into the future, as well as binders, charcoal binders, everything to do with your health. All right. your to get the poisons out. We're talking about your enzymes, your Lamborghinis, there's that key supplement stuff that is fantastic as well. For they use it a lot for mold toxins. It also has a binder in it, but it also has vitamins, minerals, and herbs in there to help cleanse your liver and help assist in getting the toxins out. Because when you get the toxins out, what it behooves you to do, right? It's about destroying the biofilm, right? Destroying the bacteria, as well as sucking it up out of your intestinal tract, via a binder like charcoal, what do you call that? And bentonite clay, a charcoal binder, a bentonite clay. Again, don't do what I'm saying here, literally. Look it all up, do your research, ask God. But this is what universe, God, or love. This isn't health advice from a doctor. Again, I'm not a doctor. You make your own decisions. This is my gifts with God that I'm sharing with you, okay? So that you guys can help protect yourselves, your family. Vitamin C's, multivitamins, different kinds of vitamins, all right? Have your own at home personal wellness pharmacy, wise choices, along with, a health kit, because a lot of people aren't talking about these things, where you have bandages and even stuff for your teeth, right? If you can't get to the dentist and things close down. So this way you're prepared, not just with food and water, but you also have these things for yourselves, your greatest health, and you can trade. And you will always be able to talk to me whenever you can, guided by God or love or higher knowing. Thank you, God, for that for us. And we will be there for each other no matter what happens. But universe is guiding me to share this wisdom with you, and it's for all of us. This way you have stuff, right? Yeah, because even if people were to break into your house and try to steal your shit, they don't know what the fuck to do with vitamins and stuff. But if you know about these things and you're a healer, then you become an asset. So remember that too. You want to have skills, mad skills for these times, so that you can always make money, and you can protect yourself as well, and have all these different avenues to share your services and your gifts with people. So because the more assets in all different ways that we have physically and within ourselves in Earth World, the better. So we're preparing in Earth World, as well as the greatest gift I can ever give you is by working with God, working with love, what we teach on this show. Okay? All right. So, Kathy, you should be good to go with all this, and so should all you guys. All right? All right. So, who's next?
We have Angela Pearl, who's asking kind of a question like Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
She's wondering if there's any wild herbs or plants we can gather here in VA legally. She feels like there's not much open free land, and she's wondering if you know of anything.
All right. There was something else that just came in, but she's asking if there's any wild herbs and plants
that she can gather in Virginia.
That you can gather in Virginia. There are actually, not that I want to float my own boat, but we have herbs and stuff that are grown naturally by people that we get them from in the area, and this is what they do. So you could go to the spiritual shops and the apothecaries, because they will have all of these things. Things like dandelion, lavender, what else we got? I don't even know. We have a whole bunch of them, and they're in little packages. The other thing that comes in for you that you can do is go local farms. They may have tools like this. There's a couple on Mount Pleasant Road where they might have some. I think one is, and sometimes, and you can ask, Call them first, though, if you're going to drive out Mount Pleasant Road out in Chesapeake. I don't know how far you are locally here. And that's for everybody, too. Check your local farmers. They'll have really good, healthy stuff, Check your area, put it out there. Because there are people, and this is what they do, but local spiritual shops and apothecaries should have all of this stuff for you that's natural, and then you could, too, grow them yourself, right? Because, like you said, it's not like you drive down the street and you see this stuff, It's not like the McDonald's or something, So that's what comes in for you. And the other thing that comes in uniquely enough is, if you're driving by a roadside space like out in Pungo, or you go on a day trip, or you go to North Carolina, or you go to the Outer Banks in this area, and this is for everybody too in your areas, stop by those places. A lot of times they'll have some really cool stuff, as well as homemade foods too, which is nice, because that they're not made with artificial ingredients and crap and garbage, but you always ask, of course, right? You ask the people, ask universe. But so that comes in as well. Some really nice stuff. And then you're helping local people and you're getting good stuff for you. That's real. That's real. All right. And in time, we're going to see a lot more of this happening. These products and these tools and these gifts that we're talking about here on the show, because the whole world is morphing and changing. And if you can't get something, people are going to be out there supplying. And the bigger the demand, the more things are going to change in Earth world. And there will be stands with more herbs and things like that all over the place. Yeah. As well as, like, when I say spiritual shops, things, like what I saw recently, you can now go to like Target and, Walmart and TJ Maxx and all these mainstream stores, and they all sell stones or, some stones and what else do they sell? Like different spiritual things, right? But remember this, it's the energy of these places. But see, this is about making money for them. Doesn't mean you can't get a good product at these places. You absolutely can, but just be aware that they're not really fucking spiritual. They're about making money off these new trends and off of the God space that has come into the world, where the people want stones, the people want sage, the people want, candles or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? So, just know this, it is the business of spirituality, or the business of this product. So they're trying to take advantage. As always, trends. People start buying scarves, or people start buying, amber necklaces or whatever, So these places, there's stuff out in these places too, just to let everybody know. But I thought it was really interesting that what they're doing, because it's going to have a lower vibrational energy, because their heart isn't really in it. It's not like a spiritual shop, let's say like ours and the other spiritual shops out here, depending on the shop and the place. But it doesn't mean that this stuff is not necessarily bad. You pick and choose and find what is best for you from love, and you will be guided there, and you will get that. But just to share with everybody, you're going to see a lot of these trends in these times as people are trying to make money, right? Where there's God, there's a way. Where there's a need, there's a supplier. Okay, so these are all avenues and things. So I would look into some of these places. You may be surprised. But just remember, this is the business of making money off of spiritual stuff. It's not necessarily about them giving a shit about being in their hearts and truly being from that place. Okay? All right. So that should help everybody here a lot. And it doesn't have to be Virginia Beach. Like the places I said are relative to this area. However, there's places and farms and shops and inside stands in Maryland. I used to drive all over the fucking country, all over, when I used to go do spiritual shows and do my stage events, right? And everywhere, you could drive, there's always going to be a farm. There's always going to be a stand. There's always going to be something for everybody in whatever state you're in. It's just cool shit. The world is amazing, and the universe supplies us with everything. Okay, that said, what time are we at, Ray?
8:36.
Okay, oh my goodness, we're almost done. All right, so we're at 8:36 right now. Do we get everybody's questions for today?
We have one more. Mark Etheridge.
Mark. Hey, Mark. How you feeling, man?
He says, hey, Lynn, I was wondering if Lucky is still around, and also if he's the right person for Marlo.
Oh, okay. If Mark, you're saying, are you the right person for Marlo? I'm thinking, Lucky, the right person for Marlo? Okay. Lucky is still around. I feel like he's still all around. He's around Marlo as well. I feel like he's helping. And why are you asking me if you are the right person for Marlo? Do you love Marlo? Are you willing to go and do what it takes? Marlo is a high energy dog. I know you just got him. And it's new, and Lucky was a completely different can of worms than Marlo. Marlo requires a lot more work, okay? And this is what a lot of people say, well, do I want to do this work or not? Because you have to be realistic with what's going on in your life, Mark. So that's really up to you to feel in your heart if you're the right owner or person for Marlo. Marlo is a high energy dog, and sometimes the energy won't mesh. Sometimes, like after our pets die, and I am guilty of this as well from the past, we run out and we get another one because we're trying to fill the void. But that doesn't mean that that was what is best for us. So when this happens, it's okay to find Marlo a new home if you feel that, because Marlo is a lot of dog. And that's what happened with me. I had a nanny, and the nanny was like laid back, like with my money on my mind and my mind on my money, you know, like that Snoop song. Right? Nanny was just like, yeah, you know, she was like chill, like Lucky, right? And then I went out and I got another dog after Nani passed away, and his name was Buddy. And Buddy was a great dog. He was another white shepherd that was a rescue, really, but he had so much fucking what I call like kinetic energy, just crazy ass energy. And he was a lot. All right. But I loved him. But after having him for a while, you know, I ended up having an accident that I think I talked about where I basically broke my ankle and I couldn't take care of the dog. And then my ex came to get him. And then I ended up giving the dog to my ex. So basically, but this was about karmic agreements, because he had given me my Kayla dog, or my Nani dog that I'm talking about, when we split up. And this is about karma. So I gave him Buddy, and I asked him to take care of Buddy for a while, but then him and Buddy bonded, and I knew Buddy wasn't the right dog for me, but I knew him and Buddy were in love with each other, and I was like, fuck, I can't take the dog back. So God finds a way and does beautiful things like this. So it's okay, Mark, if Marlo is too much for you and you're not ready, right, for another dog right now. All right. Because this is you have to let yourself go through the grieving process, but you can find a good new home for Marlo and ask God for the best one for him, and it will happen. Okay. Because Marlo is a lot of dog, and you really jumped into it. It doesn't mean that it's bad. People in general do that all the time. That's why there's so many fucking dogs in the pound. But the key here, Mark, is to do the right thing from love for Marlo and yourself. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're bad because you went and got Marlo and you want to be his forever partner, but sometimes the energies don't mesh. And this has happened to me with several dogs in my life. It doesn't mean I don't love them, but it does mean that I'm going to do the right thing from love. And I'm going to talk to that dog. I'm going to tell it how much I love it. And I'm going to say, hey, I know we have stuff going on here, but I'm going to find you the best owner for you. And I'm going to keep you until I find that owner, and you talk to him. And it's going to be the best person for you. I'm not going to let you down. I'm not going to send you back to the pound. I'm going to do the right thing from love. I'm going to ask God how to do that. And that's what I'm going to do. And that dog will be fine with the choice that you make, truly. Because you are going to do the right thing. It's when people rush off, bring it to the pound, and don't do the right thing or can't do the right thing. And so this is what I did with all the other dogs that I had that weren't for me. And I've had a lot of dogs, or I had too many dogs, or needed to rehome some. And it's okay to rehome a dog. And I said to them, if you ever don't want this dog, then you return it to me. Because then I know that I'll find that dog the best home. Because I talk to God, I work with God. Do you see? So always with any pets or any dogs that I had, I always did rescues, some from everywhere you can imagine. But sometimes we jump into these things. And because we're hurting and we have a void to fill, and Lucky is all around you. He's with Marlo. He's trying to help. So, but this is about your soul being ready to let Marlo go as well and find the best home for him. And you pray on this stuff, and you create this stuff, and you talk to Marlo, and you love Marlo, and you do what it takes to be the best owner for Marlo in the meantime, as well as, when you do find the best person for him, you ask God for that as well. That's the best partner for Marlo, and Marlo is the best partner for them. Best family, whatever is best for Marlo from love and for you. And then let go, let God, and you tell those people that if they don't want him or anything happens, that they return Marlo to you. And you can get this in a contractual writing agreement. A lot of people will do that with horses as well, because a horse is a big sale. Not just small, physically big too, because we love our animals. And this is about doing the right thing by the dog, the animal, from love. Okay. And I hope that helps everybody with this stuff on how to handle these kinds of things, because it's tough shit. And I get that sometimes you can't, some people say, well, I can, and I had to drop them off at the pound. If you can, call us. We'll help you out with that, because we don't want that to happen to any dog. It's a tough situation to be with. And if you notice rescue dogs, they are the most grateful fucking dogs on the planet. It makes me cry. They really are. My Nani, man, she would yell at the other dogs and be like, don't you do that, you bad dog. Oh my God, it was crazy. She was the boss of them. Jack would grab the whole box of bones if no one was home, and he would eat it up and tear it up and bring it in his house, his cage that he had for himself, so nobody could get in there and eat it. And Nani would come to me and she'd be like, look what he did. See how bad he is? And, oh my God. And she would, she just knew what the right thing to do was from love. And she was the boss of the whole group, right? But she was a rescue. They were all rescues, but it's amazing how grateful they are. How grateful they are. Anyways, without crying more, we're going to move on. So you got all the tools you need, Mark. Okay. And if you need us with this, let us know. I mean, you're local especially. So just talk to us about it. Love you, Mark. Thanks. All right. So where are we at?
It's 8:43.
Oh my God. It's 8:43. So we didn't talk about the other shit. Oh, I have a list that I haven't even gotten to. All right. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I know you're probably going to kill me, but we're going to hold off on the birthday gifts that Rachel gave me, but I'm going to show you them. Can you please pass them to me? Yes. All right. One is this lion pendant. Okay. All right, that's one of them. And the other one is this scarf that Rachel gave me. Interesting enough, I am really not into these things, okay? So, I love Rachel, and what's so fucking funny is she said, when I bought you these birthday gifts, Lynn, I knew you weren't going to like them.
I don't even like them.
I don't even like them. All right, and the reason these gifts were brought to me is not what you would think in Earth World. Everybody wants everybody to love their gifts, right? But when this kind of shit happens and you don't like the gift and then all this other shit comes out, you have to say to yourself, why don't I like this gift? What's going on here? Because more often than not, it's metaphysical. It's about healing. As soon as she gave me them, I said to her, it tweaked me out in my soul. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't like these gifts at all. And I didn't say that to Rachel at first. She's standing there. And I go, Rachel, I don't like these gifts. And I'm like, I don't like these gifts. And she's like, I know, I can feel your energy. I know. And she's freaking out. And I said, but this is good, because I know this is about my healing. These gifts are physical gifts from Earth world for my greatest healing, right? So there's answers from lifetimes that relate to these gifts. There's some nasty pain and suffering associated with them, or unwellness that would make my soul tweak out and not like them. You see? So I wanted to share this with you, and we will talk more about that next week. How gifts from lifetimes, everything that you give people is not necessarily the way that you think, and all about gifting. Here's another thing that Rachel got me, and this is interesting because this is from past lives too. It's a Commitment to Valor. It's a book which is a character portrait of Robert E. Lee, and it's by Rod. Is that Greg or Craig? I think that's Craig. A G.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't know, but here it is. You figure it out. See, on a serious note, though, I think it's a G.
I think it is too.
All right. Anyways, it's a little book of memoirs written about Robert E. Lee. And this has massively to do with lifetimes for me, past lifetimes. All right. If anybody knows me, they know that ever since I was a child, I fucking loved Robert E. Lee. Why? One of the main reasons is Robert E. Lee was about integrity, honor, respect, good character, responsibility, accountability, and loving his land, his country. All right. And Virginia. Right? So regardless, those are what he's known for, regardless of whether it's truth or not, of God or love, is up to you guys to feel in your heart. Ask and you shall receive. But this is my past life story, and my father's name is Robert. And what's the funniest shit is that my father was going to name me Lee before my name was Lynn. Yes. And what's funny is the universe tells me that if you know about Robert E. Lee from past lifetimes, there was a child, I think there was a couple children that he had that didn't come to fruition. In other words, they passed away. All right. And I was one of those children, which makes sense as to why I would love Robert E. Lee so much, because even when I was a child, my mom bought me like 30 books on all these history people, Abraham Lincoln, Lewis and Clark, with a whole set of encyclopedias, right? My mother bought me all these things and I was little. From the time I was like 4 or 5 years old, she bought me these books. And the only fucking book that I would pull out was the story of Robert E. Lee all the fucking time. Robert E. Lee, Robert E. Lee, Robert E. Lee, right? Because of all these things, right? This shows me here in Earth World the truth about what universe tells me about my connection to him, the Civil War, past lifetimes, that family lineage. But it shows me right here in my reality this incredible stuff. Do you see? Yeah. So in the book, right? It shows me that in this book, right? It shows me this in the book from when I was a child. Yeah, you can't deny that when your kid just like keeps wanting to read the same book over and over and over again. Loves the book, loves it. Right? Same thing. Whenever my family brings me anything to do with Robert E. Lee, I get all choked up emotionally. And this is all about that, right? It's about healing. It's really incredible stuff. I even took a vacation that was like 2 fucking weeks long, way back with my first husband when I was in my 20s. We did everything Civil War. We were maddened by the Civil War. We did Gettysburg. We did Appomattox. We did, Little Round Top. I mean, you fucking name it. We did everything Civil War. Everything. We went to what's the college out there? The Robert E. Lee College place. What is the name of that college? It's in Virginia. Something Lee University. Anyways, I believe that's what it is. Anyways, we went down there. So your life and what you are governed to by your subconscious soul tells you everything in your reality by what you do and what is happening, right? As do these birthday gifts, right? Yeah. Fascinating shit. So when you get a gift, and we'll talk about more next week in a literal sense of giving in Earth World, but so when you get a gift, remember that, because if you don't like it or it tweaks you or you fucking hate it, why is that? Or you're maddened by it or you love it so much and it makes you cry, and every time you get a gift similar to it, you start crying your eyes out, right? Yeah. You have to say to yourself, okay, God, what's going on here? What lifetimes does this connect me to? What's going on in my soul? What releases do I have to have? What's the God's honest truth? How do I heal this? What's this with me? Do you see? Yeah. Neat shit. Incredible stuff. So that said, I at least got to share that part of this with you tonight. And on that note, I'm going to end it for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming, for being part of this. What, Rachel? Yes. Oh, Rachel wants to add something. By all means.
Jean Crom said that Robert E. Lee's office is across the street from her shop.
Cool. That's so wild. Did you guys hear that? Jean Crom said Robert E. Lee's, what is it? Office is across the street from her shop. And where's her shop? In
Richmond-ish? No.
Is it Richmond, Jean?
I think it's south of Richmond.
It's just right outside Richmond.
Yeah, oh yes, and I wanted to, thank you for reminding me too, because I wanted to, I know Jean is having an event this weekend there, and I know you gave me the stuff, and I don't even know where my phone is. Is it in Chesterfield? Could she say?
She said Colonial Heights.
Okay, Colonial Heights, Virginia. So if you guys who are out there and want to go, so she's having like a Halloween event. I was going to go, but I have other obligations and I couldn't because I just didn't find out about this till recent. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Anybody who's in that area and wants to go, I'm sure it'll be great because Jean's really great. Yeah. Okay. So I think, what time was it? It was like 11 to 6 or something, or is it 11 to 4? I don't want to say the wrong times, Jean, and I'm sorry, but she's having a really lovely event there. Okay. I'm sure of it. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. And I'm glad I didn't forget, Jean. Thank you. Okay. And you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week, 7:15, live talk forum. Bring your questions. We'll have lots more funky shit to talk about.